Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brooke Blankenship. Welcome to Chair Yoga. Let's get started sitting up nice and tall on our seats, sitting back in our chairs, pressing our backs against the back of the seat, allowing the feet to be heavy on the floor, knees and heels in alignment, allowing the hands and the arms and the shoulders to be heavy, letting gravity take its force, taking big breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, finding a rhythm and a flow in your breath. Gently closing down the eyes if you haven't already. And just start to let go of anything else that's going on in your life around you. Whether that be in your mind or wherever you just came from, wherever you're going to be going later. Just let all of that go and let the mind be free and clear for a moment. Focusing only on the breath as it comes in the nose and then gently back out the nose. Keeping the body exactly how it is, fluttering those eyes open and then bringing the hands down by the sides, opening those palms wide, stretching through the fingers, and then make tight fists, stretch through the fingers, tight fists, stretch through the fingers, tight fists, and then roll the wrists back and forth, one direction then the other. Just seeing how everything feels today. Excellent job. And then we're going to bring our left arm across our body. Bringing that arm across our body and then grabbing hold of the outside of the left arm with the right hand, okay? So we're going to grab hold of that hand and we're going to pull, gently pull on that shoulder. Maybe we straighten out the arm and see how that feels. Or maybe we keep it hugged in, okay? See what feels best in your body and go there. Breathing into the stretch that's happening through the shoulder on the left side. Excellent job. Untwisting, unwinding, shaking it out, and then other side. We're going to bring that right arm across, grabbing hold of the outside or the elbow, okay? And then we can play with straightening the arm, see how that feels. If you don't like how that feels, then come back, bend that arm. okay? Gently giving a little tug on the outside of that arm, upper elbow area, and then feeling that stretch that's happening through the outside of the right shoulder. Nice deep breaths in and out our nose. Excellent job. Releasing, shaking it out. Excellent job. So we're going to reach our arms up above us. I want you to interlace your hands and then stretch your palms up to the sky. And then if you feel comfortable, maybe open up the chest and the heart towards the ceiling, leaning back slightly in your chair. Stretching through the front body. One more really big breath in. And then release the arms down. Excellent job. Shaking it out. All right, so moving forward on our seats, we're gonna get right into some cat-cows today. So starting with our simple cat-cow stretch, I want you to make sure that your heels are underneath your knees once more. We're gonna take our hands and put them on our kneecaps and walk your feet. Go ahead and walk your feet apart as wide as you want to for this, okay? So we want our knees to be our stability, okay? So we're using our legs and our bent knees as a kind of a tabletop to move our upper body and our spine around it, okay? So we're gonna start with our cat-cow. So dropping the belly towards the floor, if we were on the floor, we're gonna pull the belly forward. So pull the belly forward towards me, rounding, arching that back, and then lifting the chin up to the sky. Stretching, pulling those shoulder blades together behind you. Take a big breath in. And then release, allow the shoulders to come forward, the belly button to sink back into the spine, the back to round, the head to be heavy, back of the neck stretching, into cat, pulling forward, cow, big breath in, back to cat. Keep moving, matching your movement with your breath. Few more, matching your movement with your breath, stretching, moving around that spinal fluid. And then make this exhale your last one, and then coming back to neutral. So we're gonna do that cat-cow again, but we're gonna do what I like to call peanut butter jelly, cleaning out that peanut butter out of the jar. It's the very last, so you've got to use the knife and make the most of it, okay? Your kid is screaming for a peanut butter jelly sandwich. Do you know how many times I could ask for a peanut butter jelly sandwich during the day? It would boggle your mind. All right, friends, are you ready? So we're gonna clean out that jar, rolling the hips around. Yeah, rolling the torso around, I should say, around the hips. So we're keeping the hips right where they are. Try not to move your knees. And then rolling around. If you're doing it right, your chair should be creaking, just like mine. And it feels good. If it feels good, you find a spot where you're like, oh yeah. And stop, by all means, stop and linger there. Breathe into it. All right, and back around the other side, the other way. And back to neutral. Excellent job. Scooting yourself back in your chair now. And then just taking a moment to rest and pressing the back, the low back against, or the middle back, I guess, depending on what kind of chair you're in, against your chair, and just feeling, taking an inventory of our body. Just taking a moment to check in. Maybe there is a hip or a knee that's bothering you today. Maybe you're sore from water aerobics yesterday. Whatever it is, just taking a moment to be still and check in with yourself. Acknowledge any aches or pains in the body. Not trying to fix anything, just acknowledging that it's there. Excellent job, Yun. And so, let's scoot forward back on our chairs again, and we're going to come right into some salutations to the sun. So again, I want you to spread your feet as wide as is comfortable for you, as we are going to be leaning forward over the legs. So bringing the hands down by the sides, rolling the shoulders back and down. Big breath in as you reach up to the sky. Look up at those fingertips. And then floating down, let the breath out. Halfway lift, flatten the back, okay? So when we flatten the back, we want to elongate the spine. So finding a long neck, a long spine, really being able to take a big breath in and feel the breath circulating in between all of your vertebrae. Releasing the breath and folding back down, letting everything go, letting the body be heavy. And then rising back up again. Arms come back up. Gathering the hands at the heart. Again, inhaling up. Fold. Halfway lift. Flatten the back, elongate through the neck and spine, and then fold. All the way up. Gather the hands at the heart. Inhale up. Fold. Halfway lift. Fold. All the way up. Hands to the heart. Should be feeling warmer now. Let's keep going. Inhaling up. Fold. Halfway. Fold. All the way. Hands to the heart. Inhale up. Fold. Halfway. Fold. All the way. Hands to the heart. Inhale up. Fold. Halfway. Fold. All the way up. Gather the hands at the heart. Pressing the thumb knuckles into the heart center. feeling that beautiful life force beating beneath your thumbs. Big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and let something go. In through the nose. Open and let it go. Last time. In. Open that mouth and let something out. Excellent job. All right, yogis. So before we stand up, we're going to stretch out that hip, bringing the knee up to the chest, hugging that knee into the chest, and then crossing the right foot over the left knee. So some of us, most of us, this is already a big stretch here. Keeping that foot, the bent leg, or the folded leg, flexed, okay? And we're going to take a big breath in and get really tall in the spine, sitting up really tall. Just like we practiced earlier with our halfway lift. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. We want to elongate through the neck and the spine. That even means tucking our chin just a little bit, okay? We're elongating the neck and elongating through the spine. Sitting up nice and tall. Breathing into it. Excellent job. Releasing that foot, shaking it out, rubbing out that left hip, and then moving to the other side. So we're going to start by lifting that right knee up towards the chest, holding it in, flexing that foot, and then crossing it over. Excellent job. Sitting up nice and tall once again, tucking the chin just a little bit so we can find that length through the neck and the spine. Nice deep breaths into that right hip. Excellent job. Coming back up, releasing that knee down, rubbing out the hip, shaking it out, and then coming to stand. All right, so I am way close to the wall today. I'm gonna move my mat up just a smidge here. All right, so coming to the back of our chair, I want you to grab hold of the back of the chair, and then we're gonna heel toe those feet out about the same distance as the chair legs, okay? So in line with the chair legs, so it's a little bit wider than hip width distance, but not too wide. And I want your legs, your feet, to face the chair, okay? So they're facing straight forward, okay? So we are going to bend down into our knees, sink our hips back. Mine are sinking towards this wall back here, but yours will be sinking towards the floor. We're keeping that length in our neck and our spine, and we're holding here for 3, 2, 1, coming up. So this is another version of a squat. In yoga, we call it malasana. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Using your chair for support, you're going to bend down into a squat. Finding that length through the back and the spine, looking straight down at the seat of the chair. And then coming back up. So this is Also, I call this a squat. It also could be considered a wide-legged chair pose, okay? So chair pose, we are making a chair with our body, except in our chair pose, our body's kind of slanted like this in this one, so not full-on chair, but it's good enough for me. All right, so here we go. We're gonna bend through the knees, sending those knees forward towards the chair, looking down at the seat, elongating through that neck and spine, dropping the shoulders down towards the back. And then coming back up. Nice big breath in, and then open the mouth and let it go. Excellent job, yogis. So I want you to turn now your left toes towards the left side of the room. I am going to heel toe my foot out just a little bit, okay? So that we can come into a triangle pose. So I'm also going to, for my own comfort, move, heel toe my back foot back a little bit. So I'm gonna send this hip back into space. I'm gonna grab hold of the chair with my right hand, and then I'm gonna allow my left hand to come out and over, and maybe I stay here, pressing my right hand into the chair for support. Maybe I can bring my hand down towards my leg. Maybe I can use that for support as well, putting the fingertips on the shin or the calf, or that means the thigh. Twisting the chest up towards the sky and breathing into our triangle pose. Bending that knee and rising back up through center. Excellent job. We're going to switch out the feet, okay? So left toes are going to turn towards the front of the room. Right toes are going to turn towards the right side of the room. Again, we're going to find that support. So maybe our support is here. We're using the support through our left hand. And then maybe we can get those fingertips all the way down to our calf and really lean into that stretch, okay? So bringing that hand up. We're gonna take a big breath in. Open up through the front and side body, and then we're gonna reach out and over. Stopping here, seeing how this feels in the body, and then maybe allowing those fingertips to come down to the leg. Using that left hand to press into the chair for support. Turning that chest and maybe the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then coming back up, turning both toes in towards the center. Heel toeing those feet back together. Excellent job. We're going to come and sit. We're going to come into our warrior series. So sitting with our left toes on the ground, we're going to press that foot into the ground, activate the leg, okay? So pressing the foot into the ground, pressing the toes, the ball mound of the foot, the heel, everything into the ground, and feeling that leg fire up, okay? Then we're going to take those right toes and stick them out behind us and a little bit forward. Oh, that sounds funny, but you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, and so I want to make sure that this leg is fully, freely hanging off. Even if it's bent, okay, we don't want it half hanging on, okay? That seems a little uncomfortable. So make sure you're fully hanging off and then trying to straighten the leg. All right, hands come out to the sides, dropping the shoulders back. Elbow comes down to the knee, reaching the hand up. Big breath in. Now bringing that elbow in that nice long line towards the ear. Swinging that arm down, around, and then back up into warrior two. On your next big breath out, floating back into our reverse warrior. So laying that hand down on the leg, it's just gently resting there. And then we're gonna bring that left arm up and over, curling the fingers over the head, maybe taking the gaze up to those fingertips. Challenging our drishti, or our gaze today. Excellent job. And then on the next exhale, returning back to our warrior two. Bringing the hands behind you, interlacing them behind your back. So if you're already getting a nice stretch through the shoulders and the chest, stay right here. Option to bring the shoulders back behind you, stretching through the front body. Another option to straighten out the arms. Wherever you are, we are going to fold forward. So depending on how this feels in your body, it may feel better for you to fold forward over your bent left leg. It might feel better for you to fold forward in between your legs. So see what feels best in your body. Go there. And wherever you are, breathing into it, okay? So breathing into the stretch. And back up. Coming towards the center. We're going to drop those shoulders down towards the center one at a time. So feet nice and wide. Here we go. Dropping the shoulder. Coming back up. Dropping the shoulder. And up. Excellent job. And let's move to the other side. So setting our right foot up this time, pressing that into the ground. Our left foot is going to come out behind us. We're going to make sure that that leg is hanging off for the most optimum comfort. And then we're going to try our best to straighten that leg that's coming out in front and behind you. Okay? So here we go. We're going to start in our warrior two pose. Strong warrior two. Pressing down into both feet. Feeling that energy radiating up through the chest and then out through the arms. Leaning the elbow forward, arm comes straight up. Take a big breath in, and then bringing that elbow down to the ear, stretching through the left side of the body. Bailey. Coming back up through center into our warrior two. And then reversing the warrior, floating back. Coming back into our warrior two, big breath in. Let it go. Again, big breath in. Let it go. Release the arms behind you. So again, we're coming into humble warrior. So we're going to stretch through the front of the body. So we're looking for that stretch across the collarbone. So think of taking rakes on either side of your chest cavity and just stretching everything open. So however that feels best, and you can achieve that best in your body, please do that, okay? So you can keep your elbows bent if you want to and just stretch through the front. You can straighten the elbows, okay? We're gonna all lean forward, but see where it feels best to lean forward. Sometimes it feels best for us to lean straight over that leg. Sometimes it feels best to lean towards the middle, okay? You find what feels best in your body and then breathe into that front body and the stretch. And it may feel different on different sides. That's okay. We're taking time to notice. Feel and be in tune with our bodies. One more big breath in. And bring it up, release, shake it out. We're going to come to the center again, spreading those knees really wide. And this time we are going to reach through the side body, okay? So bringing our right elbow down to the ground, I want you to take your fingers and run them up your side into the armpit and then straight up and out. Maybe you come straight up. Maybe you can lean back a little bit and find a little bit more stretch through that side body. Oh, breathing into it. And then releasing back down. We're gonna bring that elbow to the knee, other side, okay? So again, I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna run it up my side, stretching myself open. And then coming back down. Now we're gonna move with a little bit more fluidity, okay? So as we breathe, we're going to stretch up and open. Exhale to come back down. Breathe in through the nose, inhale. Exhale back down. Inhale, open. Exhale down. Inhale, open. Exhale back down. Inhale, open. Exhale back down. Inhale, open. Exhale back down. Excellent job. Shake it out. Ooh, dance it out. All right, so we're going to practice one more balancing pose before we come back to our seats for good. So we're going to come into a standing eagle using our chair. I love this pose. It's detoxing, and everybody can get what they want from it. You can work as hard as you want to in eagle, or you can work as little as you want to in eagle. No one really knows. So it's a great pose for testing your endurance, your strength, your inner confidence, your drive. All right, so here we go. We're going to start by pressing our fingers and our hand down into the back of the chair with our right hand, okay? I want you to bend both of your knees just like we did behind the chair, and then you're going to take your left foot and cross it over your right, okay? We're going to kickstand those toes onto the ground, okay? So we're squeezing those legs together with all of our might, squeezing them together. Again, you can work as hard as you want to, or not at all. No one really knows. Even if I was in class with you, I wouldn't know. All right, so maybe by the look on your face. All right, so I'm pressing the toe by kickstand down into the ground. I'm sinking my hips down into the ground, and I'm squeezing my legs together. Now we're gonna squeeze that belly button into the center of the body too. Squeeze that belly button towards the spine. Yes, and then we're gonna bring our arm across our body. And I'm gonna grab hold of the outside of my right shoulder, and I'm gonna breathe into the stretch that's happening through the left shoulder. I'm pulling everything in towards the inside of the body. Taking a big breath in and out. In and out. Last time. In. Let it out. Release it out. Dance it out. Shake it out. Great job. Move to the other side, yogis. So here we go. We are going to press our right foot down into the ground. We're going to bend those knees. You're going to bring your left foot or your right foot across. And then I'm going to kickstand those toes. So I'm holding on, I'm squeezing those legs together. Everything is squeezing towards the center line of the body. So the legs are squeezing together, the knees are squeezing together, the inner thighs, the calves, everything. The belly button is squeezing to the spine, okay? Then we're gonna grab hold of our chair and we're gonna bring that right arm across the body, giving yourself the biggest hug that you can with one arm. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing everything in. Big breaths in and out through the nose. Working hard here, strong in our eagles. Big breath in and release. Let it go, shake it out. Coming back to seated. Scooting ourselves forward for one last stretch. Really good stretch through that hip. Everybody's favorite. Bringing that left knee up towards the chest, hugging it in, crossing the foot over the ankle. Keeping that foot flexed, and then taking a really, really tall, long spine. Tucking the chin a little towards the chest. If you need more, leaning forward over the folded leg. Coming back up, unfolding, rubbing out that hip. And then other side, lifting that right knee towards the chest, and then crossing the foot over the knee. Flexing that foot just like it's on the ground. Grabbing hold. I like to grab a hold of my foot and my knee. One, because my foot is really cold right now. It's keeping me warm. Cold in the yoga room at the Blankenship household. All right, here we go. So, sitting up nice and tall. Big breath in. Keep breathing. Big breaths in and out through the nose. Channeling that breath into the hip. Giving you more room to flex and grow and strengthen and endure. Coming back up through center, uncrossing, and then setting ourselves up for our final resting pose, allowing ourselves to sit back in our chairs and get completely comfortable, allowing the back to rest against the back of the seat, heels and knees in line with one another. Closing down the eyes, releasing any tension in the shoulders or the neck, the jaw, the space between the eyes. Just taking a moment to be still and reflect on all the benefits of our practice today. Learn when it's time to adapt. Life is constantly changing. So are we. With change comes the need to learn to adapt. Some adaptation comes naturally. On my trip, I even watched the subtle changes in my body as I traveled from climate to climate. In the warm, dry climate of Arizona, I needed more water. My body needed lotion. My hair, different shampoo and conditioner. In the higher mountain climates, I found myself breathing differently, needing to give myself more time to rest. People who live in different places and different cultures adapt to the climate in the ways of the world around them. We can learn to adapt to situations in life too, to the constant evolution of the world around us. At home, at work, within our social groups, change is constantly taking place. Most of us are constantly on the move, meeting new people, being exposed to new situations, or needing to deal with situations that have themselves changed. There are times when we can't adapt to the changes around us, when no matter how hard we try, we cannot force ourselves into the new circumstance. Our body will not allow it because this change isn't right for us. We need to learn to adapt to change, but we also need to learn to tell when a situation is wrong for us and not force ourselves to fit. Be sensitive to the changes, both subtle and dramatic, around you and in you. Give yourself time and freedom to adapt to these changes and figure out what they mean to you. Give yourself time to catch up. Be gentle with yourself. Listen to your needs. Let yourself adapt to the changes that are right for you. Beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Slowly bringing movement back into the body. Taking a big breath in through the nose. Letting the belly and the chest fill all the way up with air. Holding it for a second. And then letting it all spill out again through the mouth. We're going to do that 2 more times. Filling all the way up. Hold it. And let it go. Last time, all the way up. Hold. Let it go. The light in me loves and honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me for this wonderful practice today. Go forward with light and love in your heart. Happy day. Namaste.